Hey everyone, happy Sunday evening. This is Jen and we are on for our Mellow session tonight. So I am all ears if you have anything that you are interested in doing, if you're feeling particularly tight or anything feeling weird in any areas, definitely let me know and we'll incorporate it in and make it happen tonight. I forgot last week to do the whole what are you thankful for, whether it's like something that you've done so that you're super proud about yourself or anything else. And I want to say, I mentioned it like during this week, but I climbed again with this kind of newish partner of mine, and she is so strong and so encouraging that I end up doing stuff that I would normally probably prefer not to do. But I do it anyway because she's just like, well, why not? And I fall a bunch and it is great. And I'm very thankful that she continues to push me in a very like just mild, like, oh, just why don't you do this type of fashion. It's been very good for me to challenge myself and do something when I know I am definitely going to fall on it. So that's been my very thankful thing for this week. And of course, Great British Baking show is always fantastic too. So if that's something that you haven't watched yet, it's very warm, fuzzy, and happy making. It is that time, so we'll go ahead and get started. Good to see you, Molly Ellen. Okay, so we'll start in a comfortable seat. Let's just cross this left leg in front of our right and we'll get nice and cozy and warm. Relax your arms down on your lap, face down, face up, whatever works better for you. And then just take a moment to close down your eyes. On your exhale, empty out your lungs and feel your shoulders fall down away from your ears. We'll take a full deep inhale, lengthen up through your crown of your head. Exhale, start to feel your face soften, your shoulders relax. And we'll do that one more time, full deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Do a slight tuck of your chin here. And on your next inhale, start to roll your head over to your left shoulder. And slowly, slowly let your head roll back. Let your head roll over to your right shoulder. And then chin toward your chest. And they'll go a little bit larger actually. So allow your upper back to kind of round here. So your chin goes literally closer to your chest. And then allow your head to drop over to your left. Allow your body to fall over to your left. And then take your head around to the back and again, let your body move with you. So you're in a slight backward bend. Let your head drop over to your right, your body fall over to your right. And chin toward your chest. We'll make that even larger here. So get your whole body involved. Let your body lean and change around your hand positioning. Support yourself on the floor. Go lift your chest up tall as you let your head roll back. Let your body roll, fall over to your right. And we'll finish actually in a hinge. So let your head drop heavy. Maybe your forehead touches the floor. You can keep your hands behind you. I'm just gonna scoot back so you can see. You can keep your hands behind you in a gentle push as you sit your bottom down. Or if it feels comfortable for you already, extend your arms in front of you. And we'll just take 2 breaths here. Full deep inhale. Get a little bit longer, right? So feel your chest, your front body lengthen. Reach, extend out through your arms, your fingers. Yep, exhale, hinge deeper. Sit your hips back, heavier. And we'll do that one more time here. Inhale, Lengthen out through the sides of your body. Reach, extend out through your fingers. And exhale, sit your hips back. Let your head drop. Hang out right here. We'll take a couple moments. And as you take your breath on your own pace, start to scan your body, especially for me on this side. It's really this left hip that feels just a hair tight. So see if with every breath you can exhale and soften a little bit deeper and let that tension, if there is any, start to gently dissipate, start to gently leave your body. And then whether your hands are in front or back behind, start to let your head rest so your left ear makes its way down toward the floor. And you might be like, well, that's a little aggressive. My ear is not going to touch the floor. Then you can make a little cushion for yourself, whether it's palm on palm or fist on fist, just to let your left ear sit. Don't worry too much about your spine. If you have access to really open up your neck though, maybe give your, if it's a fist, maybe give yourself a nudge so you find a little bit more of this range of motion. If it's on your palms, maybe allow your left ear to fully lay flat on your palm. And if it's on the floor, same deal. Allow your left ear to sit best you can. We'll revisit this, so especially if you're like, what are you talking about? Don't worry. Find the best place that works for you. And it's amazing, this just getting your neck to rotate in this fashion seems very like simple. Like, of course I could do that. But just getting our chin kind of closer to our shoulder, I feel that range of motion sometimes is not quite as great as we think, at least for me. Okay, we'll just take one more breath here. Inhale. Let's see if we can find some length. And exhale again. Sit our hips down, nice and heavy. All right, this next inhale, let's lift up our head so our chin comes back down, and then gently push yourself all the way back up. Switch out our legs. So let's bring this right leg in front of our left. Relax your arms down by your sides. Again, palms down, palms up, whatever suits you best. Close down your eyes. We've done a little bit of movement in our spine. Feels good. On your inhale, lengthen up a little bit taller. Maybe find some space already. Reach out to the crown of your head. Exhale, stay tall. Relax your face on your exhale. Relax your shoulders. Do that one more time. Full deep inhale. And long, slow exhale. Start to gently tuck your chin in toward your chest. This one we stay tall through our spine. On your next inhale, allow your head to fall over to your right shoulder. Take as much time as you need as you gently allow your head to roll back, right? Especially if it feels sometimes a little bit tricky to do that, to let go. Take your time with it and move slowly. Allow your head eventually to move to your left shoulder. And let your chin return toward your chest. We'll allow ourselves to kind of fold a little bit deeper, right? So start to get your upper back rounded here. And then your next breath, let your chin fall over to your right shoulder, or your head fall over to your right shoulder. Allow the rest of your upper body to kind of move with you. This is like a medium circle that we're taking. And find all of that stretch through your neck, your throat, as you let your head roll to the back, as you let your head fall over to your left shoulder. Let your upper body lean with it. And eventually your chin makes its way down closer toward your chest, back to where you started. And even more then, roll a little bit deeper and start to let your whole body lean over to your right. So your head leads the way, but your whole body kind of follows. And then as you let your head fall back, Stay tall through your chest, but feel like a very nice backward bend, as if I'm digging my nail into your up back. As you let your head drop over to your left, let your body fall over to your left. And as you come through center, we'll let ourselves drop entirely through center. Let your head fall down to the floor. Extend your arms forward, or you might want to keep them back behind. This is totally whatever feels more natural, better for you. And we'll take 2 breaths here. On your inhale, open your chest, get long out through the sides of your body, reach, extend. And on your exhale, let your hips melt heavy. Feel that tractioning of your spine that you create for yourself here. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen, reach, extend out through your arms, your fingers. And then you're taking a very deliberate, elongated exhale to sit your hips back down. Feel like it's the exhale that never stops. Continue to empty it out. And we're hanging out right here for a little bit. So as you take your own breath, use every exhale to see if you can start to notice any place that has tension, and then start to gently let go of those little bits of tension, tightness. This side for me, probably for you as well, it's that right side hip, right? It has like a larger angle to it. So it might feel a little bit extra. Take your time with it. And then on your next breath, we'll pick up our head and then again move our head to face this left-hand side, so chin closer toward our left shoulder. Now again, you can do a couple of things if your ear doesn't fall completely down to the floor. And to be quite honest, I don't know that it can without your butt lifting up. So either we're doing a stack of our hands, palm on palm, or you want to do a fist on fist. And then relax your shoulders away from your ears. And we're going for just a little bit of this rotation, right? So, of course, we can move our chin from side to side, but we're just trying to go a little bit deeper. So sometimes in triangle pose, if you can think of it, when we hear our chin to shoulder, instead of looking at our fingers up top, kind of in a sideways fashion, I'll show you in a little bit, we can look at it head on, right? So as we face our arm that's up top in triangle, our chin literally can sit in that divot of our shoulder. So our eyeballs are on either side of our arm when you look up. All right, we'll just take one more breath here. So whether it's palms, your fists, or you're all the way down to the floor, with your ear, we'll just take one more breath. Inhale, maybe a little bit of length. And exhale. Nice. Good, your next inhale, return your head back into neutral. And we'll slowly walk ourselves back up. All right. From here, let's take this left leg out. So left leg out to the left. Flex your foot, and then we'll put the sole of our right foot up against our left thigh. So before we move into kind of a typical side body stretch, let's just take our left hand and give our chin a gentle nudge over to our right shoulder. Right. And then let's return. All right, do that one more time. Just a gentle nudge, right? Chin toward your shoulder. Yup. And gently return. We'll do it 2 more times, going for that range. Chin toward your right shoulder. It's very, very gentle though. We're not looking to for any sharp breaks here. And return to center. One more time, our chin to our right shoulder. Good, and then we'll stay right here. And then release your left hand. We'll just send this left arm inside of our left leg. We know this, perpendicular to our left leg. And then reach your right arm up and over. Now listen, when you reach your right arm up over, notice where this is sort of ends up being where our triangle situation is. See if we can start to rotate our chin closer to that divot center of our right shoulder. It's a big ask, right? So just take your time, chin to your right shoulder, and then maintain the length on our left-hand side so we're never super collapsed here. If you can afford to do so, continue as you reach your right arm fingers over to your left toes. You continue to rotate your chin closer to your right shoulder. Again, it's a big ask, so definitely take your time. With all of these things, we're never forcing our body to do stuff. We're just encouraging and gently, very nicely, kindly asking our bodies to try things. Good. So even though this is our typical side body stretch that we've done time and time again, our sort of focus point then is just this chin to our shoulder, which you might feel if you're really, really kind of going for it. You might even feel like this right side feels like it's tensing up quite a bit, and that's totally normal. We'll just spend one more breath here. Inhale, stay lifted on your left-hand side, always finding some lift. And exhale. You don't even have to reach farther. See if you can get your chin a little bit closer to your right shoulder. And gently lift yourself back up. All right, that was like a different approach to the same thing that we've done time and time again, right? Let's switch out our legs. So right leg goes out, left foot to the sole to the inside of your right thigh. And we'll just take our right hand to our right cheek and very gently move your chin, keeping it parallel, by the way, toward your left shoulder. So this is the other direction. And gently return. And already, since our body, like we like mentally know what we're to expect a little bit, chin to your left shoulder, you might find that as you move your chin toward your left shoulder, your left side here of your neck already feels like it's like working, tensing a little bit. And gently return. Good. Move your chin toward your left shoulder. Stay tall, stay lifted, so strong, strong spine. As you move your chin to your left shoulder, hopefully a little stretch down the right side of your neck. And gently return. Good, and this is our final one then. Chin to your left shoulder, go hold. Now we're keeping it there, let go with your hand off of your cheek. And then we'll take this right arm, really feel like your right shoulder is coming inside of your right leg already. Our right arm perpendicular to your right leg. And then before you go super, super deep into this stretch, stay lifted as you draw your left arm up. And as you look up toward your left fingers, notice where your chin is in relation, notice where your chin is in relation to your shoulder, right? So if you're like me, it's kind of basically in front of my shoulder. We're just doing the best that we can. Remember, stay lifted on your right side body and start to really rotate your chin toward that divot, the center of your shoulder. All right, so you'll probably look with your eyeballs and it's like you're looking far back, but we're trying to get this a little bit closer. And I, for one, don't practice this all the time, so just asking my body to play this game is a lot. So take your time with it for sure. And use every breath on your inhales. We've talked about exhales a lot, but on your inhales for this in particular, use your right palm against the floor to lift yourself up, just to ensure your right side is not completely kind of hanging out relaxed. And your left side, you start to move your chin closer to your left shoulder. Good. Continue here, inhale, lift up on your right side. Exhale, maybe a little bit more rotation, chin toward your left shoulder. Maybe reach your fingers out a little bit farther. So much work here. Inhale, gently, lift yourself back up. And return. Let's bring the soles of our feet together. Good, you can grab on to your ankles or your feet, whatever works better. And we're doing a couple of neck rolls again because that was kind of a big range of motion we were working. So either eyes open or closed, tuck your chin toward your chest. And we'll start with our kind of mild one. So head to your left shoulder again. Head to the back. Ooh, head to your right shoulder. Nice, nice. Chin toward your chest. Good, in the other direction, head to your right shoulder. I'm like in between eyes open, eyes closed. Head toward the back of the room. Head to your left shoulder. Ooh, and chin toward your chest. Find your neutral once again. Head all the way to your right shoulder. Come back into neutral. Head over to your left shoulder. Come back into neutral. One more time, each side. Head to your right shoulder. And center. I feel very long in this. Head to your left shoulder. And come back through center. So from here, let's just do a gentle hinge. Give our neck a little bit of a rest. Good. And we're doing heels kind of close to our hips. So this angle should feel sort of the most accessible of all the angles, right? Not pushing our feet too far forward away from us. And then if it works for you, your elbows can press right into your calves, your inner thigh area, and give them that gentle nudge as you hinge forward. Of course, hands behind you though is another wonderful option, right? To help hinge you a little bit deeper. So whichever one works better, we'll stay there. Lengthen out through your neck. Feel your shoulders relax away from your ears. And we'll be here for 2 more breaths. We'll stay hinged in this space though. Stay on your exhale, stay long. 1 more breath. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Good. All right, let's take these arms up in front of us like we're doing chair pose. Extend. And then flip your palms out. Push it out right, left. Circle all the way around. Keep the height of your arms. And as they come back behind, let your shoulders rotate, tops of your hands face the floor. Good. And then still open your chest, lift up an inch, and then keep your pinky fingers facing upward as you find that rotation with your arms, as high as possible still. And then as you come forward, these palms start to face up toward the ceiling again. 1 more. Inhale. Push out to the right, to the left, palms out. And take your time. Your pinky fingers stay pretty high up there. The tops of your hands eventually rotate to face downward toward the floor. Watch your shoulders. In this rotation, it's a big ask for sure. Ooh, yes. And we'll do 1 more time like that. Go lift up an inch, pinky fingers face up. Find that rotation. Yes. And these palms eventually face up toward the ceiling. Good. And now face these palms down. Same trajectory. As you bend your arms into a goalpost position, think of these arms coming back behind the plane of your spine. And hold. Good. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And then squeeze your blades together. Lift up 1 inch. And we'll hang out right here, hold. All right, keeping your elbows at their height, paddle these palms back. So nice and slowly, you're still at a hinge and your elbows will definitely want to drop. So keep them up there best you can, even if you're slowing down the pace quite a bit. And then check for any breaks. Oh my God, my arms are shaking. Check for any breaks in your wrists if they're doing this thing. Maintain and lift your elbows up 1 inch. Yes, that's right. And then let's start to rotate back. Keep the height of your elbows. It's impressive, right? When your arms are doing all these things, your shoulders are doing all the rotations very slowly, but also shaking. Okay, so my elbows have come forward a little bit. Let's do a joint lift. So our elbows are once again back behind our plane of our spine. And then keeping the height of our elbows, we paddle these palms backward. Now transition slowly, because you know just about at the halfway point, these elbows will very much want to droop down. So keep your elbows up, maintain the height, and press backward like you're doing this in water, right? So you're creating some resistance for yourself. Nice work, Kristen. And then just because I think our elbows have probably dropped even in our best efforts, lift your elbows, squeeze your blades just 1 inch. Woo! And gently rotate up. When our bodies are like shaking, it's such a weird thing. You're like, stop it, stop it, stop it. And my elbows, I can see if they've dropped. So let's squeeze our blades once again. And then extend these arms, lengthen. Hey, Marcus. And then we'll take these palms, push again. Keep the height of your arms. Ooh. And then tops of your hands face the floor. Allow that rotation to happen. Still you're hinged forward, right? Of course, nothing has changed there. All right, one more time then. Push these palms up, open your chest. Ooh, pinky fingers up high. Yes. I guarantee we will feel better after. Lift, yes. And then face these palms in that same trajectory. We have one more go. Bend these arms into goalpost. All right, we're here. Let's hinge just 1 inch deeper. Let's squeeze these blades in and let these wings fly. My shoulders are like, what's going on right now? Keep the height of your elbows. Paddle back. Ooh. Why does every single thing feel spicy today? I do not know either. All right, once you are sort of at your maximum, my elbows have definitely dropped. Let's pick our elbows up one more time. Ooh. And then rotate, return to the goalpost. Keep the height of your elbows best you can. Yes, let's squeeze these blades together once again. Oh my gosh, don't your shoulders feel like a ton of bricks here? Straighten out your arms, lengthen. And let's lift all the way up, really nice. As we go into this T position, swing your right arm, just cross your chest, and then left arm will bend it. Give yourself a gentle pull. Ow, 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 right? So spicy. From this place, drop both shoulders down. And then we'll again play this game, chin to our right shoulder. Ooh. So as you actively use your left arm, it's so crazy, like doing this to yourself is like the worst thing, right? You're like, you know you're doing it to yourself. So use your left arm to pull, so this right arm reaches back farther, then drop your shoulders down, then move your chin. Let's move our chin closer to our right shoulder. Ooh. And gently release into that T again. Yes. And then we'll take this left arm, cross our chest, bend up this right one, and then gently pull. So think of drawing the left arm back as far as possible. Use your right arm for help. And then drop your both shoulders down. Super easy. For some reason, my left shoulder loves to hike up. So think of relaxing it down as you continue to draw your left arm back toward the back of the room. And then look past your left shoulder. And we've been doing this all to ourselves, meaning they've all been kind of active. So definitely it's a lot more strength and a lot more mental willpower just to get ourselves through it. But we'll start to use the floor for some assist here. All right, gently. Let's release. Just find an open T. Let's lower these arms down. And then from here, everything cracked as I released my arms. Let's bring these arms back, and we won't interlace. Let's extend these legs out, give our hips a little bit of a break. So you can keep them square, your legs square, and we'll just walk right hand back, left hand back. No need for the interlace. We'll just notice if our arms start to spread apart super far, we'll bring them in closer. So step right hand back, left hand back. These might start to be crawls rather than big steps. Crawl your fingers back as much as you feel like it's okay, with enough room, energy to get yourself out of it. So save enough. Leave a little buffer there. And then pick your chest up just a little bit here. Yes. Hold. Yes. Hold for 4. For 3. Good. Chest up for 2. Woo. For 1. And then gently we release out of it. And then from here, I want to do something real quick as we give our elbows, our arms, and our shoulders a little bit of a break. I want to do a little bit of stuff for our fingers. So cross at your ankles. Let's move into a tabletop real quick. All right, so from this tabletop, we'll simply step this right foot to the right of our right hand, and then send these right fingers out to face the right. We'll step right foot on top of our right fingers. And this I love. It's such a nice little massage for our fingers. Kind of painful, but remember we can adjust how much weight we apply to this. So walk it around, or definitely feel free to just find a constant place, maybe a place that your fingers need it the most. Yep. And we'll be here for just a little bit longer, so take your time. Good. We'll do one more breath in this place. From here, let's walk this right foot out to the right and swing our right leg back. Return your right hand to its place, fingers facing forward, and then step your left foot to the left of your left hand, and then face our left fingers out to the left. Start to walk our left foot on top of our left fingers. So the motivation here again is just giving our fingers the opportunity to go straight when oftentimes they like to stay bent. And I don't know, it feels really good for me. I feel like without this, like when I don't do this, I just don't feel like there's any other dedicated way where I can spend a good amount of time giving my fingers this nice little massage treatment. I feel like you can do those stretches that are constant, that are nice, but this is like an active way to do it. And I don't know, my fingers always enjoy it. All right, we'll be here for just a couple more breaths. Remember, you can always stay put in one spot if there's one particular area that you want to hang out in, or you want to apply more pressure in. Totally leverage the weight of your body and move around that way. All right. Start to walk your left foot to the left of your left hand. Let's swing this left leg back around and then return your left fingers to face forward. Let's flip these fingers now, palms facing up, fingers facing you. And I'm going to bring it pretty close so my fingers basically almost touch my knees. And if this still feels good, you can do one of two things, right? You can start to walk your hands a little bit farther out and automatically you should feel maybe a little bit more pressure. And then you can also sit your hips back down toward your heels. Taking note, our shoulders, we can maybe afford to relax them down a little bit more. Perfect. We'll be here for just one more breath. Keep it active. So if you start to not feel anything, meaning everything feels really comfortable, maybe you lean your hips back a little bit farther. Maybe you relax your shoulders down away from your ears a bit more. All right, so in the same vein of letting our fingers find their full range, we'll do that for our elbows real quick. This is not particularly enjoyable, but it's good for us. You can do a little flick, whatever you need to do for your fingers, and we'll make our way down to our bellies. So from this place, let's straighten out these arms with our palms flat against the floor. Right. And then we'll roll to our left-hand side, draw this right arm underneath. Roll over to our right, draw this left arm underneath. And then I want to show you your 10 fingers. You want them to be flat against the floor. You don't have to lift your butt up like I am. I'm just showing you. But in addition to your fingers being flat, think about getting your arms, right, from up here as far as possible, closer to your shoulders, underneath you. So now the soft part of your elbows is underneath, facing the floor. And then once you let your upper body weight just go heavy over, you have this wonderful ability to straighten out and apply pressure not only to your elbows, but also reinforcing your fingers. And if your chin was on the floor, let's everyone move our chin toward our right shoulder. And now we're lying down flat. So oftentimes, if you're in a yoga class, there's like that Savasana time, or you might be doing belly down Savasana. See if you can plaster your entire left ear onto the floor, right? Sometimes when we do those belly down Savasanas, it's easy to kind of have our face smushed like this. And I was exaggerating, but if we can really think about getting the entire side of our face flat, we have that 2-in-1 bonus, one of just that nice relaxing belly down Savasana, which is not this. I totally understand that. And the second bonus, of course, is this range of motion that we get for our neck. Good. And then from here, it'll feel good to release, but we're going to stay in it for a little bit longer. So what we'll do is pike our hips up one more time. So you can tuck your toes in, pike your hips up, and then see if you can roll more of your arms underneath your body, right? So your arms were probably underneath, no bent elbows, right? See if you can get more of your arms underneath. So earlier I went right arm first. I'm going to try left arm first. So look toward your left side and get more of your left arm underneath, right? Flatten out your 5 fingers. And then roll over to your left, get more of your right arm underneath, make room, whatever you need to do for yourself. And then once you've found yourself in that place, take your chin and move it toward your left shoulder. And see if you can get more of your right ear to go flat against the floor. And this is a very interesting exercise just because I feel like we think that this is something very like simple and like, of course it's so easy to bring our ear to the floor. But at least for me, you can tell me if you feel otherwise, but at least for me, just right now, on my initial placement of my right ear to the floor, I can feel that this side is slightly less willing than the previous side. So I feel more of my face squished into the floor. And you can probably see that because my right cheek is a little bit squishier on this side. So this is just an observation for my own body. You might find that this is like the more accessible side for you. But it's just interesting to make these observations because we always think like, well, this doesn't matter. This like seems like it would be the same for both sides because it's something so simple. But this range of motion, I also think there could be quite a bit of contrast from one side to the other. All right, I know our arms underneath our bodies getting a little bit tired at this point. We'll just take one more breath. And exhale it out. Good. And then we'll undo these arms underneath. So feel free to roll over to whichever side. Free out one arm, this arm if it's still working, and then free out the other arm. All right. And let's bring these hands back toward our face. So once we push against the floor just a little bit, I'm going to face this side once again. So we push against the floor just a little bit. Push especially into your right palm and then see if you can let your left arm come underneath you. Good. And then stay square over your shoulders. So your body really wants to face out over to the right hand side. So you can really square up. We'll just do this single arm to start. And then once we're here for a little bit of time, you might find that you're able to relax into it a little bit deeper. So whereas when you first set yourself up, your body is sort of like tensing up to hold yourself and lift yourself up as to not apply all the weight of your body. As you go breath by breath, maybe your body is more willing to cooperate and do a little bit of that for you. Good. And then we're just going to push into this right palm and switch out our sides. So push into your left palm and then reach this right arm over out to the left. And square up here best you can. So as much as your body weight that you can put over your right arm, do it for yourself. And then feel if you can make any adjustments to make it slightly more precise, whether it's letting your right arm go down a little bit lower, relaxing your shoulder away from your ear, or squaring up a little bit more, shoulders relatively even to the floor. And then we'll stay on this side for a little bit longer. See if you can move your chin toward your right shoulder. And then maybe put a fist right on the floor. See if this works. You're letting your left side of your face come down onto your fist. We'll take one more breath here. And exhale it out. Good. Gently lift your head up off of your fist. Left palm hits the floor. Push. Switch it out again. Right palm hits the floor. Send your left arm through. And again, give yourself some space. You're already creating it as you come down. And then we've been here before, so hopefully slightly more familiar. Take your chin over to your left shoulder, fist up your right fingers, and see if you can place your head. This is my reluctant side, but see if you can get your side of your face on top of your fist as you look past your left shoulder. Just one more breath here. And exhale it out. Good. Gently lift your head up. Right palm flat. Push yourself up. Free your left arm. Come back through center. Send your right elbow forward. Send your right elbow forward. Take your left hand on top of your right. Make it a kind of an acute angle. And let your chin rest on top. Maybe let your head drop over to your right. See if you can let your right armpit go flatter to the floor. Good. And initially, again, it's almost like you're creating a little tent with your right armpit being like the apex of your little tent. See if you can start to squash that down a little bit more. And we'll take one more breath here, add one more thing. All right, keeping your hands in the same place. Lift yourself up a little bit. Send your right knee out to the right, 90 degrees. All right, perfect. So your right knee out to the right of your right hip, and then right foot to your right knee, forming a 90-degree angle. And then let your head rest again. So chin closer to your left shoulder, your right ear flatter against your right arm, your left hand. And then best you can, you're starting to let everything soften, go heavier, the weight of your head over your right arm. And getting that nice one-sided hip opener. We'll take 2 breaths here, in through your nose. Exhale, soften a little bit deeper. And it's a really active soften. It's such a weird thing to say. Okay, take another breath, inhale. And with that active soften, truly let go of any energy that's supporting you right now, right? Allow your body to literally feel like it's melting into the floor. 2 more breaths like this. I feel like it takes some time to really, really let that energy go. It's weird. It just wants to keep you lifted. Exhale, melt. I suppose that's a good thing though, isn't it? One final inhale. And exhale. Nice. From here, let this left hand fall flat against the floor. Release your right arm. Push yourself up. Onto elbows maybe. Release your right leg. And then send your left elbow forward. All right. So this space right here that kind of wants to stay lifted, we're just kind of letting that hopefully melt a little bit deeper, closer to the floor. All right, so once your left elbow is stuck forward, you're at an acute angle, palm flat, let your right hand rest on top. All right, my left wrist likes to stay up. This will help push it down. And then see if you can get your chin closer to your right shoulder and let your head also rest heavy. I feel like especially if you do not have any sort of weird injury type of stuff, like my right side felt a lot easier, and then my left side right here does not feel as nice. So these also give us some pieces of information. So you'll find that those places that are slightly unwilling are a little bit more defensive. And you might have to mentally, all right, tell your body to relax quite a bit more. So take your time for sure. it's such a weird thing because you'd think on your exhale, you just tell the body, relax. It sometimes just doesn't work that way, right? It takes a lot of time, especially if your body's like, well, no, last time we relaxed or last time we did this, we got hurt. Then of course your body is less willing to relax quite so easily. So that's a good thing for sure. But take your time with it, and best you can, you're starting to soften that space that is your left armpit. All right, now that we're slightly familiar with this space, use your right hand to lift yourself up a little bit, and then just send your left knee out to the left, 90 degrees. Do any adjustments that you need to make. I'm going to try to stick my left elbow out a little bit farther, bring my left angle a little bit deeper, and then again, let the weight of my head fall heavy over this left-hand side. And who knows, maybe this, I mean, I keep on not emphasizing, but kind of pointing out the differences of one side to the other. Maybe for you, they're both kind of the same. And that's good news too, right? That's good news that you're pretty symmetrical. So that's awesome. Let's take advantage of their exhales. Our next, we'll take a next 4, let's say. Inhale. And then very deliberately on your exhale, soften that space of your left armpit. Again, inhale. And exhale. Two more times, go inhale. Very deliberately exhale it out, especially if you know if there's a particularly tight spot. One more, full deep inhale. And exhale. Good. Your next inhale, let's gently, gently undo. Push your right palm down. Ooh, bring this left hand back down to the floor. Send your left leg back. And then gently lift yourself up, however you like to get there. It doesn't have to be a push-up. I'm kind of doing a fake one. Let's sit down, kneeling position real quick. Find ourselves back in our T. So let's take our both hands and then face them back, right? So just a nice little rotation back. Good. And then we'll take this right arm, swing it back behind without touching your body. Send your right fingers up toward your left shoulder. Yep. And gently return, still your palms both face back. And we'll do the same thing with our left without touching your body. Left elbow faces down, and then get your left fingers to reach toward your right shoulder. It might not go very high, that's okay. And gently return to our T. Good, flip your palms up toward the ceiling. And again, flip your palms back. Again, this right arm drops down, right elbow drops down, right fingers go up toward your left shoulder without touching your back. Keep your chin up, chest up, long spine, and then gently release. Return yourself back into your T. Final one, this left one. Drop your left arm down, left elbow faces down, and then crawl your left fingers up toward your right shoulder without touching your back. And then gently return your left arm. Good, both palms back, both palms up. Lower your hands down. Sit yourself down. And then we'll take ourselves all the way down. All right. From here, let's do this left arm up by our ear, right foot flat. Push into the floor, roll over to your right hand side. Take your right arm. Do the same thing. Your right elbow faces down. This time, definitely feel free to touch your back. Crawl fingers, your right fingers, up toward your left shoulder best you can. Right, so you crawl, 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 crawl. And then once you're at your maximum place, whatever that is, spread your palm out wide, your 5 fingers out wide, and then keep your fingers up there as you gently, gently roll back. So allowing the floor to be our nice little prop, keeping ourselves in place with your left arm still up there by your ear. Now, in that transition, it's really easy to have lost some of that fingers up toward our left shoulder. So probably we can all afford to do a little bit of adjusting. If you are already at your maximum, totally stay. All right, if you would like to do some adjusting though, bend up our both legs and let's windshield wipe, knees out to the right, to the left. So as you do this, we're slowly inching our hips away from our fingers, away from our shoulders, right? So our right palm stays flat, our hips start to move away from us, and eventually at some point in time, you will meet your maximum. So you can hang out right there. And if it suits you, let's bend this left arm as well. So our left fingers make their way closer to our right fingers. And if you can afford to do so, sometimes I just feel like it works, it doesn't work, depending on the day. If you can get kind of your head, the weight of your head on top of this left arm, sometimes you can get yourself a really nice tricep stretch. Again, some days it works, some days it doesn't work quite so well. So you feel it out. If it does, that's awesome. If it doesn't, well, it's still without weight, a good tricep stretch. And we'll take one more breath here, in through your nose. And exhale out through your nose. And then check in, who knows, if you still have a little bit more to go, you can continue to do those windshield wipes. This is not necessarily a thing for everybody, but it might be the case. For me, a big tell that I had a little bit more was that generally speaking, my fingers can meet, and in this last run, they did not meet. And I was like, well, I think I should be able to get them to meet. And so I did a little bit more. This is not necessarily the case that you have to do that every single time. It's just from my like sort of expectations for what my body ought to be able to do. And my body was, I felt like I was okay doing it today. I was like, yeah, let's try again. But of course there are days where I'm like, nope, this is good. And of course one is not better than the other. It just depends on how you're feeling for sure. Good. We'll take one more breath here. And exhale it out. And usually I'd say let's release this left arm, but I'm going to say bend up your right leg if it's not bent already, and then roll over to your left-hand side, still with your bent left arm, and free out your right arm, right? So take your time to gently, gently free out your right arm. And once it's free, before we take on any shakes, totally take on any shakes if you need them, but we'll grab onto this left elbow real quick and then return ourselves back onto our back. And then once we're there, see if we can give ourselves just a little bit of a pull out toward our right-hand side. And then maybe you actually move your feet out to the right-hand side too. So you're forming a little bit of a banana shape as you draw your left elbow over to your right. And we'll take one more breath here in through your nose. And exhale out through your nose. Good, and if you moved your feet out to the right, return them back to neutral. And then let's release this grab of our elbow This time we'll grab our left wrist with our right hand and then find that side body stretch out to the right again. If that banana worked for you, you bring your feet out to the right again and find that side body stretch once more. Use your right hand to help pull your left arm over. Good stretch. Nice, and stay for your exhale. Good, to unbanana ourselves. Return your feet. And then return your upper body, release. And we'll move into the other side. So, right arm goes straight and long. Bend up your left leg and let's roll over to our right hand side. Okay, from here, let's take this left arm, elbow facing down toward our hip. Crawl your right finger, or your left fingers, I'm sorry, all the way up toward your right shoulder. And I know we do the adjustment later, but I personally find that if you do as much as possible on this initial round, it's a little bit easier. You won't have to do quite so much adjusting. All right, so once you find yourself at your best place, spread your palm out wide, spread your 5 fingers out wide slowly, return your back to the floor. And then you're locked into place thanks to the help of the floor. All right, if you're feeling good here, this is your max. This is your max. Awesome. If you feel like you have a little bit more to go, this is our left arm. I personally feel like I have a little bit more to go, so I'm going to do the whole windshield wipe, right? And the idea is, again, to create a little bit more space as you move your hips down. Your palm stays, hopefully, in that place where you put it initially. And at some point in time, you do hit your terminal, and that's good. We'll take this right arm, and if I'm going too fast for this side, absolutely take your time, by the way. Bend your right arm if you're ready for it, and then maybe your fingers meet. For me, with this left arm down below, it is very obvious that this side it's weird though, like I wanted to say it was like obvious that this side was easier, but that's not true, because like when we were doing the whole tent of our armpit thing, the left side felt a lot worse. So I cannot explain it. And then maybe you find that you have a similar situation where one side felt reluctant, and now we're doing this and it's the other side that feels more reluctant. Who knows? And then see if you can find a tricep stretch. If you can get maybe some of your weight of your head over this right arm, maybe it helps you get a better tricep stretch. On this side, I feel like I can put more of my weight of my head on my right tricep, so it does feel like the weight of my head is helping me in a passive way. Good. Of course, at any point in time you want to do a little bit more windshield wiping, absolutely do that for yourself. On this side, it was a little bit faster for me to grab my finger to finger, make contact. But maybe I'll do a little bit of windshield wiping just the same. The thing is, it's like really easy to get complacent and be like, oh, well, I touched my fingers, so that's enough. But as we all know, there is always a little bit more if our bodies are willing that particular day. All right. If your left leg is not bent, bend it. And then we'll keep our right arm bent as we gently roll ourselves over to our right hand side. Gently, gently free out this left arm and take on any shakes, any circles that you'd like. And then if you're ready, when you're ready, take your left hand to your right elbow and then come back down onto your back. Find a good little tricep stretch for yourself. And then see if you can pull this elbow a little bit farther out to your left. Sometimes that angle needs to be a little bit more aggressive. Reach over to your left-hand side. And then if that banana, you want to try it, you can bring your feet over to your left-hand side and then continue that gentle pull of your elbow out to your left. I do feel that like this angle of your right arm needs to be kind of acute for it to make sense, for it to work, which is not the easiest thing to position yourself in. So not to worry if that is not working. All right, let's return these feet back into neutral. And let's free out this bent right arm. Use your left hand to grab a hold of your right wrist. And then let's move our arms over to our left-hand side and our feet over to our left-hand side for another try at the banana. Nice little side body stretch. Good. And let's return then our feet. Let's return our upper body. And then slowly release these arms down by your sides for a gentle little savasana. So take a moment, even positioning your body in a good place often makes all the difference in your savasana. So for me, my shoulders, I feel they can afford to come away from my ears. So if that's you, maybe lift your chest up a little bit. So you lift your shoulders up off the floor and then tuck your shoulders sort of underneath you and then let yourself go heavy once again. If you feel like your spine is a little bit crunchy, you can bend up your legs, scoot your hips down a little bit farther. Lose that huge arch in your spine, make it slightly more neutral. And then let your legs fall heavy. And these next moments as you take your breath, as you have your eyes closed, no more visual information. Take these moments to scan your body, head to toe. Any places that are still feeling a little bit throbby, inflamed, whatever it is, start to, on your exhales, breathe some relaxation to gently let go of any of that heated energy. Start to let your body soften, melt. Feel more relaxed, feel more rested. Let's take 2 breaths here. Full deep inhale, breathe deep. On your exhale, let go. One more here. Full deep inhale. Exhale. Good. Your next breath, start to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Circle your wrists, your ankles. And then your next breath, bring your arms up over your head. Give yourself a really big stretch. Your fingers in one direction, your toes in the other. Lengthen your spine, arching up off of the floor. And exhale, let it all go. You can roll over to one side, gently, gently. Take your time as you make your way into just a nice little kneeling position. Take your time getting there. Hands on lap, close down your eyes. We'll take 2 breaths here. Full deep inhale. Exhale it out. Feel your shoulders drop down away from your ears. Sigh it out. One more time. Full deep inhale. Exhale it out. Beautiful. Your next inhale, open your eyes. So nice, everybody. Great work. I feel a lot of still highlighted energy in this general area, but hopefully that starts to go away. Well done. Hopefully you feel a little bit looser, your shoulders feel a little bit more relaxed, all those wonderful things. I'm really digging these Sunday evenings together. It's so nice just to slow things down, mellow it out, even though, as we know with the mellow stuff, there is sometimes some spice. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, guys. Drink all the waters, do all the things, do none of the things. Whatever your Sunday is telling you to do, enjoy it. And I will see you hopefully during the week as well. We're on for what? A Starburst core tomorrow morning. So maybe I'll see you then. All right, guys, breathe. Have a great dinner, and I will see you next time. Bye.